Launch sequence activated. Prepare for lightspeed.
Intelligent, keeping the missing relevant with Mr. E, Mrs. E. Let's not forget the sweet and E, and of course the best Granny, unraveling these mysteries. Stay a while and share your thoughts. Help us break down this mystery. Grab a seat, we guarantee you're in wonderful company. Unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs. E.
All right. Welcome in, everybody. Can you hear me okay, Mrs. E? Okay, Mrs. E's off camera, but she's going to help me here a little bit. Good to see everyone here. So we're just hopping on kind of last minute because this is huge news. We have got, well, first, just welcome in, everybody. I cannot really believe the news that's coming across today, but appreciate you all hopping on here with us. I don't think anybody really saw that coming, but according to Brian Ensign's, where we first saw this, on X, Brian Kohberger has taken a guilty plea in the Idaho 4 murders. So I'm going to pull up his post where I first saw that here. All right. All right. So is that okay? Great. That's up on the screen there. So I'm just going to read straight from his post. This was 19 minutes ago. Brian Ensign says, I have learned Brian Kohberger has accepted a plea deal. Sources confirm the prosecution has proposed dropping the death penalty in exchange for Kohberger pleading guilty to committing the 4 murders and serving life. More details soon. And then I also just saw the Sun is also reporting the same. I haven't even read the article yet, so we're going to do this together. Yeah, I know. I think this is how a lot of us are going to feel today. So Eve Loves God says, hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. And thank you so much for being a member for 10 months. And I think the great thing about this is that the family can finally have justice and not go through the messy trial. A life sentence, death penalty, and all of that, you might have different feelings one way or the other, but at least we know there is going to be justice in some form against Brian Kohberger. So I'm going to read the article from the Sun. It says, bombshell U-turn. Brian Kohberger accepts plea deal and will say he's guilty of 4 Idaho students' murder to swerve the death penalty. And let's see what it says here. Idaho murder suspect Brian Kohberger has reportedly accepted a plea deal in order to avoid the death penalty. Kohberger will now plead guilty to the brutal killing of 4 Idaho students in their own home, according to reports. More to follow. For the latest news on the story, keep checking back at the U.S. Sun, your go-to destination for the best celebrity news, sports news, real-life stories, jaw-dropping, and all that. So, yeah, they're basically just reporting. I think Brian Ensign is the first one to catch this. So let's see how everybody feels about this here in the chat. Pebble says, wow. Let's see. Kia Gypsy Karma says it's good news. I bet he's working on manipulating his way out of prison by befriending someone on the inside. Nicey Marie says, wow, something must have come out from Pennsylvania. Didn't want family out there. Just thinking. Yeah, it could be anything. Eve Loves God says he did it just to stay alive. True Crime Junkie says this is good for the families. They didn't need to go through a trial. They have been through enough. and Dreaming of Blue Skies. This happened, the story broke 20 minutes ago. And so we had a few minutes where I could kind of hop on here and talk about it. We had just started really getting into the research on this story, kind of thinking that there was going to be this really lengthy, controversial trial, actually. And so I prefer this in a way than taking the risk of him escaping justice and something going wrong at trial. So if he gets a life sentence, I think I'm okay with that myself. I don't know how the families will feel. I would guess the DA had some talks with the family, and maybe they feel that way. So Auntie says Breaking Brian Kohberger has agreed to plead guilty to all counts according to a letter sent to the victim's family members. He will be sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences and waives all rights. So okay. So if he's waiving all rights, then I assume that means no kind of parole hearings, no kind of appeals that he can file later. Just the rest of his life in prison. I don't know where that report came from, but I know Auntie's and we're scrambling looking for news articles too. So I'm actually going to do another search here. See who else is reporting on this. Even AI. Okay, AI just updated 2 minutes ago. AI didn't have this correct. They were saying no, he has not taken a plea deal, and now AI is updating as the news is being reported in real time. So that's kind of interesting.
Sorry, I misspelled Kohberger.
So it looks like News Nation may be reporting on this too. So I'll check that too. All right, so let's see. News Nation, when did they post this? I guess just a few minutes as well. I'll share that tab. All right, so their headline reads, Brian Kohberger accepts plea deal in Idaho college murders case. Sources confirmed the prosecution had proposed dropping the death penalty. A court hearing for a change of plea will be on Wednesday. So today is Monday, so in 2 days we'll have, I guess he'll be in court. And of course, these murders happened back in 2022. And here's the article here. Oh, Brian Inton. Okay, so he's with News Nation. I couldn't remember who he was with. So he posted this at 5:04. Yeah, so just a couple of minutes ago. News Nation has learned a plea deal has been offered to Brian Kohberger, the man charged with killing 4 University of Idaho students in November 2022, and he has accepted. Sources confirm the prosecution has proposed dropping the death penalty in exchange for Kohberger pleading guilty to committing the murders and pleading guilty to the burglary charge. The News Nation has learned Kohberger must also agree to spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole and must waive his right to appeal. So that's what Auntie was saying a minute ago. A court hearing for a change of plea will be on Wednesday. Kohberger faces murder charges for the deaths of Xana Carnodal, Madison Mogan, Kaylee Goncalves, and Ethan Chapin, who were killed at an off-campus house near the University of Idaho on November 13th, 2022. He had pleaded not guilty, and the trial was scheduled to begin in August, with opening arguments expected on August 18th. So that would seem like a done deal to me. I guess anything could happen between now and Wednesday, but yeah, it looks like that's it. So no trial, just a hearing, and then he goes to prison for the rest of his life with no hope of ever leaving, and he shouldn't. Yeah. So Reality Wins is saying Brian posted it. I don't think it's clickbait. He is pleading guilty. I know it seems hard to believe, but that the Sun, News Nation, several others are reporting that now. But yeah, we had to go double check it too before we came up. But yeah, and here, so yeah, I think the focus here is what Kara Kueller 7847 says no. The 2 surviving girls can hopefully heal and move on to God bless everyone. So hopefully that's kind of where my thoughts went. Is just kind of I hope that this gives the families, the sisters, the brothers, the survivors, everyone that the ripple effect of all of the people that were devastated with this. Hopefully, this gives them some kind of peace, at least knowing that this monster will never be out, and he's not going to walk away on some technicality or you get in the courtroom. Anything could have happened, and so I'm glad. CCMD says maybe the legal funds ran out. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is. Maybe we'll find out one day. I mean, string it out for this many years, get close to the trial. It kind of does make. Who was saying that a minute ago that maybe some evidence was shown or emerged, and they realized that there was no way out. I don't know. So I'm not sure. Deanna says his family is likely relieved as well, meaning Kohberger's family. Yeah. I don't know if you mean the Kohberger's family or maybe everyone's relieved, because this did have the potential to be a circus, and I think rather than that, maybe just having the justice without the circus is ultimately a good thing. Oh, okay. So Kathy Wells UK 5660 says the Goncalves family are furious. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing the name. It's on their Facebook page. I might go hunt for that if you know the but that's so they're furious. I mean, I guess I can understand that. I guess
they want answers, right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe, we're on the outside, so from an outsider, I prefer the low risk option of making sure he goes away forever.
Right. I'm here, guys. I didn't add my avatar to the stage, but I'm here. I don't have makeup on, so I'm not coming on the screen. So
let's see. Tiffany, thank you so much for the $5
Tiffany.
super chat. Tiffany 1979 says, I hope there are stipulations he can't make money off his crime unless it goes to the victim's family. They don't mention that in the article. So I'm sure that detail is in there or not. So maybe we will learn that sometime in the future, but that's a good point. Yeah, he should not profit off this at all. What, who was it that posted that the one of the families was upset? Kathleen Wales. Do you know, why they were upset? Were they not consulted by the prosecution before they accepted, or were they was it that they wanted him to have to face them, Oh, that's a good question. Spicy Housewife Witch says, I'm curious to see if other possible red rooms popped up, and it'll be investigated as well.
Okay, I've got it here for you. I got the Facebook post.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
I mean, that's always possible. I mean,
Auntie's here.
Hey guys.
Hey, Auntie. Thanks for hopping in here.
This is crazy.
So, it is crazy.
Yeah. So, Guilty Crime, thanks for being here too. She says, thank you for coming here and covering this. I knew it. Yeah. So I just, I'm going to go back since a lot of people are just now getting in. If you are just now joining us, we're going to share this here. As far as I know, this is the first person to report this a half hour ago. Brian Enton said on X, I have learned Brian Kohberger has accepted a plea deal. Sources confirm the prosecution has proposed dropping the death penalty in exchange for Kohberger pleading guilty to committing the 4 murders and serving life. More details soon. Of course, I think everybody was skeptical hearing that at first, but now multiple people are reporting it.
I saw it on ABC News on X.
Okay, so yeah, so ABC's got it, the Sun's got it, and here's Brian's updated story. I'm going to read it again in case you're just hopping on here, because this gives the details a little bit. So Brian Ensign reports News Nation has learned a plea deal has been offered to Brian Kohberger, the man charged with killing 4 University of Idaho students on November 2022, and he has accepted. Sources confirm the prosecution has proposed dropping the death penalty in exchange for Kohberger pleading guilty to committing the murders and pleading guilty to the burglary charge. News Nation has learned Kohberger must also agree to spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole and must waive his right to appeal. A court hearing for a change of plea will be on Wednesday. He faces murder charges for the deaths of the 4 students who were killed at an off-campus house near the University of Idaho on November 13th, 2022. He had pleaded not guilty, and this trial was scheduled to begin in August, with opening arguments expected on August 18th. I want to go back here and see did you
recognize the super chat from Pammy Bear?
I did not. Thank you so much, 1946 Pammy Bear, for the $20 super sticker. I think is that a super sticker?
That's
or
a
chat?
super chat.
Super chat. Well, thank you
so much.
Um,
Like I said, I'm not. My hair's crazy, and I don't have makeup on, so I'm not.
Well, and I'm in my kitchen with no mic and no lighting. So
very last minute.
Yes.
Okay, so
throwing it up.
I'm just shocked. I'm beyond shocked. So I wanted to be here with our friends. So I'm just beyond shocked.
Right. I'm going to have to mute my microphone too. Just 1 second.
Sure.
So guilty of crime says she, I guess this is a prediction she made. She said, people make 5-year delays when they are guilty. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't have seen it coming. I would have thought he'd get this close to trial. They were going to go for it. Yeah, so maybe that was always the play. Belinda says, won't he have to explain how he did this to the judge? I'm not sure. I'm not sure
we're ever going to know, guys.
I don't know. And then maybe that's one of the reasons the family's upset is they wanted to, have the story out there, or they may have just wanted to make, wanted the death penalty.
Marlena, slap me. I'm in shock.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I feel.
All right. Yeah, we didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah, it's pretty disturbing. And I can see why the family, though, is upset, because I'm sure they wanted death penalty on the table. They did not want a plea deal at all. And I can see why they're upset.
Spicy Housewife Witch says, can the family still give witness impact statements? I would raise hell to make sure I made my statement.
Right.
I hopefully, I would assume in the next day or two, some of the details of whatever this plea arrangement will start to come out. Somebody reported that the family received a letter, right?
It was on it was on the ABC News article thing that you can pull them up on X.
Okay, I'm going to find that one next.
I just went to ABC News on X, and it said that the families were sent letters saying that he was pleading guilty to all 4 counts, and pretty much the statement.
Lockdown with April C says, I think he wanted his attorney to see what evidence LE had against him. Maybe that's a good point.
The DNA, and that you can pretty much see the DNA evidence that was out there. They knew what they were going to be presenting, and it was damning. I mean, they had tons of DNA evidence.
Right.
So here we have Brian. This is ABC News, and this is through their X account, but it's on their site. Brian Kohberger.
Can you switch it on, or do you have it up?
I thought I had it up.
Oh, that's me. I'll pull mine down. Hold on.
Oh, well, we can do both. Do you want to?
No, that's yours, right?
Yeah.
There it is.
So we'll read this, and then we'll go to the family page.
Oh, I just had it pulled up for you so you could see it.
I didn't realize it was there. So we'll go to this first, and then we'll go over to the family. Brian Kohberger has agreed to plead guilty to all counts in the killings of 4 Idaho college students, sparing him from the death penalty, according to a letter sent to victims' family members. Kohberger will be sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences and waives all right to appeal. A court hearing is scheduled for July 2nd. So Wednesday. Everybody will be wanting to see.
Yeah, we'll be watching that.
The plea comes just weeks before Kohberger's trial was set to begin. Jury selection was set to start on August 4th, and opening arguments were scheduled for August 18th. Kohberger was charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary in connection with the killings of roommates. And I'm going to mispronounce the name, so I'm just not going to do it. But Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan. The 4 victims were all stabbed to death in the girls' off-campus house in the early hours of November 13th, 2022. 2 roommates inside survived, including one roommate who told authorities in the middle of the night she saw a man in black clothes and a mask walking past her in the house, according to court documents. The shocking quadruple killings took the small college town of Moscow and launched a nearly 7-week manhunt. In December 2022, Kohberger, a criminology PhD student at nearby Washington State University at the time, was arrested at his parents' home in Pennsylvania. So the letter was sent. Let's go back up here. It says the letter was sent.
I agree with you, Pebbles. Pebbles says, I still believe he had help.
I don't know.
I think it's possible. I really do. All of it's so weird. We were really starting to dig into it and really learn about it. And I had a lot of questions.
And I agree here with what Kat B said. He will be another Dahmer in prison. They'll put him down. I think that's exactly what will happen.
I see. So
well,
the parents received a letter about the deal after it was accepted, right? Brian Kohberger has agreed to plead guilty to all counts in the killings of 4 Idaho college students, sparing him from the death penalty, according to a letter sent to victims' family members. So that's after the fact. So maybe they didn't. Were they not consulted about that?
It sounds to me like they were not. That the state made the deal.
Yeah. Okay. So let's. Would you mind to pull up the family response again? Because I wanted to see how do you pronounce that? Goncalves?
Yes, that's right.
Goncalves. So this is the family page. It's true. We are but beyond furious at the state of Idaho. They have failed us. Please give us some time. This was very unexpected. We appreciate all your love and support. Heartbroken. Kaylee Jade forever. So they have a right to feel however they want to feel about it,
Sure.
So it's such an unimaginable position. You can't, who knows how, I don't know how I would feel. Like I said, just as an outsider, I'm just glad that justice is going to happen, that he's not going to get away. No chance of him walking the streets again.
I think prison will not be good to him. They will either have to have him under like security in prison, because I think he'll be taken out.
I think he's going to get what he wants. I think he's going to get all the interviews. It just depends on, how lenient they're going to be about having him be able to, like Tiffany was saying, earn money off his story.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So C-Star 3611 says the family has questions they want answered. So that might be part of it. They may have wanted to understand what happened, and now they may not get the answers you might get with court.
Well, I mean, we'll have the ability to FOIA the documents, right?
Every state's different.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. Like, but probably. I mean, a lot's going to come out after this. For Crying Out Loud says, probably after he pleads guilty in court Wednesday, the gag order could be lifted. So this is
Cha-Cha does not like you being on the computer.
So
Crime
Junkie says the gag order should be done Wednesday once the judge accepts the plea.
Okay.
The cat's here in the house too, so she's growling at the cat.
I see.
So somebody said C-Star has a great question. I want to see what that great question was.
I saw it just a second ago. Hang on.
Yeah. So C-Star had asked, does this mean the evidence can be released? So that's kind of what we were getting at, actually. Will we be able to see what actually happened? Because there's still kind of some questions about it. I don't know.
Also, I don't really. It says, so I'm confused as to how Syre plays into this now. He fought the whole conviction, so did he lie? I don't know who that is.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah. This is a case that we haven't done a super deep dive into, so all the players and all the witnesses and everything, I'm not as familiar with as some of you.
Yeah, we were just really digging deep into it. So,
okay, so Izzy Girl says 36-1 says, I don't think he is allowed an interview in Idaho. Lori Daybell cannot give interviews in Idaho prison.
Oh, good.
So that's a good point. Well, but it didn't.
But Lori Vallow did.
Yeah, but Lori Vallow did it. So for Crying Out Loud says Lori Vallow did a jaw-dropping interview with Nate Eaton, and it will be out tomorrow, I think.
It's crazy. HM Hands, you're right. OMG.
So Deanna says, I can also see this as a good thing as well. While it was such a heinous, ugly, multiple acts of violence toward 4 innocent victims, the trauma won't be heard over and over for weeks of a trial. That's the way my head goes too, is I start thinking about sitting there and hearing all the details.
In the evidence.
Yeah. I mean, but like I said, I mean, you can't imagine with their position and what it would feel like, what you'd want.
Okay. For crying out loud said Cy Ray, and I don't remember that being his name because I followed the Murdaugh case and I watched all of the people testify, but she said Cy Ray is the phone guy from the Murdaugh trial. And that was the guy that did all the forensic phone, like kind of did the timeline and everything with the phone forensics.
Gotcha.
This is crazy.
I guess he was saying that it didn't match up to what happened. So I'll have to check into that because I'm really into the Murdaugh case now. And I'll go.
Well, you love the phone.
Yeah, the phone stuff is amazing.
The phone forensic stuff is like it's your jam.
Yeah, it is. It's so cool.
Let's see.
So so I'm gonna.
You can go for about 5 more minutes probably, and
What time is it right now?
5:25.
Yeah, so I've got about 5 more minutes, and then let's just kind of get reaction here. And I mean, you all always have great thoughts on everything.
Yeah, what are you guys thinking?
I mean, it's pretty mind blowing.
So Jules says after 3 years now he agrees to a plea deal. Right.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, so we read that.
And Linda says it shouldn't have been done without consulting the families. I agree.
Yeah, that's surprising, isn't it?
It is surprising.
I wonder if they told them they were considering that, or
it sounds like they weren't. And from that family statement, they're beyond furious with the state. So the state had to make the final, agreement.
Yeah, I don't think so 20 chickens chilling, which is a great handle, says he had no chance of winning. Yeah, I mean, very unlikely, but you'd never know. There could have,
You just don't know.
You never know.
You just don't know.
I mean, there could have been any technicality that something happened or that was said that could have thrown the whole case out. Things happen like that and people go free just because of that. So I don't know that it's worth the chance that something like that happens just to get the plea deal. But I think the family wanted more justice than this, and I don't blame them.
I'm not sure. So Jules says, I don't see any official paperwork filed on any of the court websites. I don't think that's where the source is. I think the source is the family.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
Is the letter they received. So it may not show up anywhere officially yet.
And Dreaming of Blue Skies, I'm still in shock too. I can't, I'm blown away by it.
We are seeing it. We are seeing it though through mainstream media, huge media sources like ABC has posted it. So I would say it is true. And I know other people that are going live with the information. So I do feel like it's accurate.
Yeah. So this is a good point. Lockdown with April C says, I thought when the house was torn down at trial would have been a problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is possible. Who did I hear talk about this? Somebody was talking about, what if they wanted to walk through and see it themselves and they have to be told that the home is gone. Nicole Merck 899 says going to trial is a gamble on both sides. You just never know how those 12 to 16 people will vote.
That's Jesus right. Coffee and true crime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I know.
All the weird name changes.
Everybody has
I know.
new names.
We're sorry if we don't call you the right thing, guys.
Yeah. So Spicy Housewife Witch says positive vibes and love being sent to the victims' families and BK's family as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think so. Dreaming of Blue Skies, Sandy Beaches says, I don't think a plea should be allowed unless the families agree to it. This was a heinous crime.
Mm-hmm.
The family has spent years preparing for trial to be told at the last minute it's not going to happen.
I know, it's terrible.
Yes. And I'm sure they were building themselves up for it.
And Blessed Mom at 37 says it's prohibited for inmates to profit off media interviews.
Well, but that doesn't mean he has parents and stuff. couldn't
It could go
profit
to a
off of it.
victim's fund, though. It could go to
Yeah.
the victims' families.
Yeah, but
You know,
if the stories are true about him like being all into Ted Bundy and all that stuff,
Mhm.
it might have been more about him being infamous and not as much about whether he threw, you know what I mean?
yeah.
What am I trying to say? Help me get it out. It might be more about him wanting to be infamous and be the person that is looked upon as evil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then Susan
And
said,
nothing about the money or anything else,
Right.
just the fame.
she said she's worried at the hearing on Wednesday something will happen and he won't plead guilty. Well, if he doesn't plead guilty, then it'll go to court. But it sounds like to me that's already been done and signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah, this stuff does happen right before. So
And then
Yeah.
Izzy Girl says Lori Daybell has been given interviews since she has been in Arizona. She cannot give them in Idaho, so she will be quiet once she is transferred back to Idaho.
that makes sense.
Yes.
I didn't think about that, but yeah.
Right.
I think about jail. I wasn't thinking about it being in Arizona.
For
So
crying out loud, said, I wonder if he'll hang out with Chad Daybell.
Oh,
Right.
I would say they'll have him in solitary for a
Yeah.
long, long time.
So Pamela
so,
asked,
too.
does anyone know if after he pleads guilty, will his files get released?
That's a great question. I would think so.
I don't know. I don't know. You know, what if there could be other crimes or investigations it's tied
Well,
to?
even though he's okay, wait, he's pleading guilty. So if he's pleading guilty, the family's going to be able to bring a civil trial, correct?
I don't know. You might be right.
Right? Aunt E, did you hear me?
I don't know if he's pleading guilty. There's going to be complete guilt with the civil trial as well. So I don't know. I mean, I guess they could sue him for any future
Damages.
money. But he has no money.
I do have to go.
Oh, man.
So I just
right.
want to, in case you're just now hopping on, basically this. I just want to recap here real quick. This story, as far as I can tell, was broken by Brian Enton from News Nation that Kohberger has agreed to plead guilty to the 4 charges of murder and burglary, who will serve life in prison. That hearing will be on Wednesday. And this it appears that his source is the letter that was sent to one of the family members.
Okay.
Detailing that agreement.
Yeah.
So, I know some of you will catch this a little later. If you have any thoughts, your reaction, leave it in chat. And thanks for hopping on with us here. And,
sorry we'd stay on, but we have plans for tonight already.
I have to go, so I don't have a choice, but I'm just glad we were able to kind of come on and talk to you all for a few minutes about it.
And if you guys are looking for like a media source that you can trust, ABC News has got it on. I'm sure it will be all over the nightly news tonight. And
it's probably breaking on the nightly news right now.
Yeah, it's
people are
probably
putting in
breaking everywhere right now, but it has been verified. So
Yes.
it's not just us talking heads saying it. It has been verified.
Guilty of Crime says, thank you again, guys. I love your nonsense content. I think she means no nonsense.
I hope so.
Maybe a Freudian slip there from Guilty of Crime.
I just thought that was cute.
Yeah.
We knew what you meant.
We love your show too. So
And if you're
you
new
do
to
great
us
also.
because you clicked on, please click on like and follow us. I saw Lockdown with April C. Thanks for having you. Please come back and see us again.
Yeah, she says, please remember today is a great day to make a difference. Stay safe, everyone. Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much. We're going to wrap it up and let Mr. E get out of here. We are planning on going live tomorrow. Maybe even 2 live streams.
2 live streams tomorrow. One during the day
And one in the evening.
And then one in the evening. So.
We'll see you guys soon. Thank
All
you.
right. Bye, guys.
Thank you, mods. Thank you, subs. Thank you, everybody in chat. We appreciate you.
Thanks.
Eloquent, intelligent, keeping the missing relevant with Mr. E, Mrs. E. Let's not forget the sweet and E, and of course the best granddie thoughts.